What do you know about a picture graph or a pictograph? Take a look at the given example below. A pictograph is used to display information that uses images or symbols to represent data. This is the simplest form of graph where little pictures are used to represent numbers. We can do it vertically or horizontally, just like in the given examples. Both of the graphs show exactly the same information about the number of phone calls that the operator received in 4 days. Since a graph uses pictures, it is advisable to use a scale. The scale of the picture graph is the number that a symbol represents. In this graph, one picture is equal to 100 phone calls. It means on day 1, there were 500 calls were made. On day 2, 300. And 400 phone calls were made on day 3, while 200 phone calls on day 4. Looking at this information, we can conclude that day 1 has the most number of phone calls received, while day 4 has the least. Study the pictograph below and answer the guide questions. Remember to look at the given scale. Number 1. How many apples were sold on Wednesday? Number 2. How many apples were sold in 4 days? Number 3. Which day has the most number of apples sold? And which day has the least number of apples sold? And lastly, find out what is the difference between the most number of apples and the least number of apples sold in 4 days. You can always pause this video if you want to use this as an exercise for your students in the classroom. Let's work on the first one. From the given data, there were 90 apples sold on Wednesday. Let's see how many apples were sold in 4 days. 60 apples on Monday, 80 apples on Tuesday, and 40 apples were sold on Thursday. In total, there were 270 apples sold in 4 days. And clearly, Wednesday has the most number of apples sold, and Thursday has the least. The difference between the most number of apples to the least number of apples sold is 50. It is pretty easy to interpret a picture graph, don't you think? If you found videos like this useful, a like would be appreciated. Feel free to browse other interesting lessons on this channel. PDF copies are available on our Facebook page. This would be all for now. Stay safe, everyone, and have fun learning.